What is up, guys? William Wallace here from SPY Options Traders. Doing the daily market recap here. Actually, we're going to cover a couple of days since I didn't do a recap video yesterday. I'm zoomed out here on the ES chart, 15-minute for the last several days here since the end of last week and the overnight Sunday, where we got this nice big dip on some news of Saudi Arabia oil. Wasn't really I think it was like a small refinery getting bombed. Anyways, what happened is we got a nice little tank and got supported at 29.90 on ES. And then going into Wednesday's Fed news, we had some very, very sideways action, some tight consolidation, especially Wednesday morning. Just some tight consolidation staying in this kind of channel area. So we'll zoom in on that. And obviously, you can see where 2 o'clock is, where the Fed released their news. And we got some big seesaw action. So going into the trade day on Tuesday, we made a few little scalps on live voice, but there really wasn't much to be done. Let's zoom in on Tuesday. Really wasn't much to be done as far as trading because the consolidation was so tight. But we actually set up two different iron condors that we played on the just before 2 p.m., just before the Fed announcement, and they both worked out perfectly. Both worked out great. So those iron condors were just basically taking advantage of the high IV. There was a major put skew in the market for several days, actually since last week going into this. Now, SPY goes ex-dividend tomorrow, so there's a put skew still, was today. Because the ex-dividend date coming in at midnight here, we'll see SPY drop a good dollar and a half just because of the ex-dividend date. It's going to be a nice little dividend. But we going into the Fed news, we played that. We got a huge dip, but the Fed, they committed to cutting the rate 0.25%, which is what we pretty much already knew. It's very interesting how the odds and you can look at the CME FedWatch tool and see last week there was a 94% chance that the Fed was going to cut 0.25%. Very small percentage chance that they were going to leave it the same. Monday and Tuesday, though, the market seemed a little more uncertain, and that percentage went way down to where it was almost like a 60% or 70% chance that they would cut the rate versus like a 30 or 40% chance, depending on when you were looking at it, that they would leave them the same. So we kind of knew that if they cut it 0.25%, that the market would be happy because at that point, last week, it was totally what was expected. But coming into the meeting on Wednesday, there was a little less uncertainty that they would even cut. And so we knew that would be a good thing. Now, the market tanked first. And a lot of times, whatever the market does first is wrong. Don't know why that is. It happens sometimes. And then Papa Powell got up on stage and started talking at 2:30 right here. And so we played a bounce play, got really nice. I did not expect it to bounce like this, but there at the end, the last 30 minutes of the trading day, SPY just shot way up. And so we made a really nice bounce play on this drop, and that was really nice. And then today, and actually we're going to go to the 1 minute chart just so we can get a little more granular on this. Let's back up to yesterday real quick. This was the action. It was fun. But there's a lot of support right here on our SPY chart. And so right in this area, it was consolidating and almost went into some puts here. But we kept the calls, and then we got a nice little flag right there. And it shot way up the rest of the day. Today was pretty boring, honestly, but there was a very solid play. So SPY continued to take off, and we got a very nice launch out of here. Very easy trend line to follow whenever that broke. It was a really nice open, great play. I mean, very easy play there. And then whenever it broke down, It kind of consolidated. But what we actually saw happening is we'll go to the hourly chart, and those in the chat know that I look for a certain pattern, and that is crosses, the dead cross and the golden cross. So it was just setting up perfect after that consolidation, just set up perfect for a dead cross, even right there between 12 and 1. So in the afternoon time, just afternoon, we played the reversal. Dead cross carried us through and got a really nice trade there as well, going down $1 or so on SPY. So that was two really great trades today on that. And so what we're looking at now going into Friday, we know that the ex-dividend date is going to kick in at midnight. So we gotta be aware of that. As far as our daily chart goes, we're getting this was a decent candle today, but coming over the 5 MA on the daily, but we're seeing a dead cross on the daily, and so we really do need to consolidate. Although we did hit a new all-time high today, 302.63. That's great. We're going to see a dip. We need to see a dip some more. Honestly, we need to see it consolidate. This is really a kind of a weak run. Even with everything going for the market, we got the rate cut. China news has kind of settled down for a little bit. We actually did have some talk today. It wasn't really news that helped push the market down. The market's really not standing, even though we're at these all-time highs. It's really not standing on some concrete grounding. So I totally expect and totally want the market to dip back down after this nice run up we had breaking out of the box consolidation. Get this dead cross in. Let's move back down a little bit, and then let's start yanking it back up after that. So we'll see how that plays out, if that plays out or not. Yesterday, we were really seeing a very nice dead cross on the daily, including with the MACD, and ES really showed it very clearly. But we opened up so high today that got, I think, delayed, but you can see it's pinching here, and we definitely have it turning down on the daily on ES, but it's kind of smoothing out. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen. It may go sideways, it may go up. Sort of in uncertain territory with so many things going on. We're just going to play it day by day. We'll play the day trades. We had one loser yesterday, but that's the first loser in 2 weeks. So we can't really complain about that. We also had to make up for the loser yesterday. We had a really nice call play that more than made up for it. So doing really well in the chat room. If you guys want to join us, it is spyoptionstraders.com. spxoption.com will get you there too. We'd love to have you in the chat so you can learn how to trade SPY, SPX, S&P 500 futures, ETF, and index options, just to learn how to be a successful, consistent trader. Love to have you in there and learning. So anyways, William Wallace from Spy Options Traders. See you guys tomorrow.